Or how to write an introduction paragraph, also called a thesis paragraph. It's the exact same thing. Start by making a strong claim. So your claim should be debatable. This would not be something like Sula is written by Toni Morrison, right? That's just a fact. Even like Sula is a book about friendship isn't even great because like you want to make a statement. So like, what can we learn about friendship? Sula shows that friendship is blank. Sula shows that jealousy does blank. Sula shows that, I don't know, generational knowledge does this, right? So, like, don't just tell me it's about, like, Eva, Hannah, and Sula. Tell me it's about what do those relationships, what do their similarities show. So, that's the first part. Decide what you want to prove. Then your whole introduction is just leading up to proving that thing. You want to start by grabbing my attention. I'll show an example in a second. Then you want to give the title and the author, so like Sula by Toni Morrison. You want to give a very brief, 1, maybe 2 sentence review of the most significant events in the story. A lot of things happen in this story, so focus on the ones that prove your point. So if you are gonna, if you're gonna talk about like, I don't know, how a motif is fire and what you learn from that, you maybe want to like talk mostly about fire. You don't need to get too, you don't even need to talk about the fact that like Sula has a lot of sex. You know, like, so like think about what are the things that matter to you. Then you're gonna introduce your claim or your thesis statement, the meaning of the story, your truth that you learned about human nature, about the moral, the lesson, the whatever it is. And then don't worry too much about this one. Give some evidence. You'll get more into that later, but just like give me a quick sneak peek into like how are you planning to prove this thing. So here is an example. First line. Sometimes good things happen during unexpected times. Honestly, that's only fine. You could put, I don't know, be more creative than that. Catch my attention better than that, but there's an example. Text reference. In Stuart Dybek's microfiction story Flu, if you haven't yet read that or watched my video of me reading that, do that now. So like this is the whole number 2. That's it. Here's my really short plot summary. Faye becomes horribly sick with the flu. When she returns to work, a coworker who has never noticed her previously finds her attractive for the first time. A romance buds that eventually leads to a serious relationship. Okay, fantastic. That's obviously it's easier for me because flu is super short, but like, can you give me, boom, very short what happens in the story? This is what I'm going to talk about later. Dybek uses Faye's luck in finding someone special. So like later, I'm going to show you that she got lucky. She found someone special to show how. And here's my truth. So again, my claim is debatable. It's something that applies to real life and to the story. A person can unexpectedly go from misery to happiness. So let's think, does this happen in the play or in the story? Yes, Faye is super upset at the beginning. She's very, very sick. Is she happy at the end? Yes, she's in love. Do I believe that this is something that happens in real life? Yeah, I absolutely do. I think sometimes like beautiful good things can happen from like unexpectedly or like from bad things unexpectedly. So that's kind of how you do that. If you want more examples, there's another example that you can look at. Maybe think about like this other example. There's some missing stuff. There's some different things. I mostly just gave this to some of you who like, if you are an exceptionally strong writer, you might want to think through like, oh, look at that. Here, the claim is way earlier. You're used to writing your thesis statement, your claim at the very end of your intro. Maybe play around with where else you can have that. If this makes no sense to you, you can ignore the second example. You're going to go through, you're going to highlight this one just to make sure that you know the pieces. So like, see if there's an attention-grabbing first line. If not, what would you change about it? See if you can find the title and the author. See if you can find the summary. See if you can find the thesis statement. See if you can find the evidence. And then eventually you're just going to write your own. So like this is the process you're going to go through. You're going to come up with your claim. You can talk to people around you. At the end of the day, based on your reading, based on your character tracker, based on the things you've read, based on the questions you've answered, based on the conversations we had in class, based on the motifs you've seen, what's this a story about? So decide that first. Sula shows what? This is a story about how friendship can, I don't know, change a person's life, maybe? And then you're going to slowly build to that through here. Keep this open and write your thesis paragraph now.